Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I am your host, Brett McCollum, and I'm here today with JW Epstein. And today we're going to be talking about wholesaling in 2025. Before we get to that, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs to 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. Without further ado, JW, how are you, man?
Man, I'm wonderful. It's good to see you. It was good catching up before the show. So no, I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing good, man. Thanks. Yeah, it was a good catch. We have a lot. I'm excited to get into all the conversation we're going to have today. It's one I definitely think we'll have a lot of high level, things to discover and talk about, right? But before we get into all that, let's get some history, some background, that sort of thing. Who's JW Epstein?
Yeah, so I was in the car business for 20 years, 20 plus years before I got into real estate. Dabbled in real estate there at the end of my career in the car business, and COVID decimated inventory levels, so kind of pushed me out, if you will, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do after that. I thought I wanted to sell insurance, and that was boring. I see some people selling houses on Facebook and stuff, and it kind of piqued an interest, and started just researching. Is like, man, these guys are buying houses and selling houses. Like, I can do that. It's just like cars, and it is. It's the same. I've got a wife and 3 kids. We homeschool, so if somebody runs behind me here, then you'll know why.
Oh, yeah.
So I wholesale. I've got some rental properties, and just anything involving real estate. That's kind of what I do.
Incredible. Yeah, I mean, I definitely got a lot of things to go back. Let's start here, though. So if I also have children running behind me and around, same thing. I have 4 children. We also homeschool. So,
Okay.
man, do I understand that? You're in here, you're recording, we're doing this show, and it's like any given moment, you're kind of like, like, are we good? Or what people don't see is the camera's right in front of us, right? And they don't see what's going on behind the camera sometimes. And you see your kids like running around just being, I'm like, oh my gosh, so do I understand that life, man? Completely. But so let's kind of rewind back a little bit. You were in the car business. How long were you in that business for?
21, 22 years, something like a long time. I mean,
Yeah.
right out of college, I started selling cars and promoted. I went into F&I and sales manager. I was a general manager for a short period of time, and yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's that's what I was going to ask you is like, how far along into that did you get? So as the GM side of things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you've been in this, I mean, car sales is different, right? But it's also sales is sales is sales. I will say that.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
But the volume nature of it, I have a lot of questions, and I think we'll pull on that in relation to real estate here in a moment. But what did it feel like? 2020 hits, inventory gets kind of weird, and you mentioned being pushed out kind of thing. Can you draw on that a little bit more? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so I was at just a small local dealership here in Amarillo, independent, and I was the newest guy there, brought on to open up a value lot, so higher mileage cars, and I saw the writing on the wall. I mean, 6 months before, I mean, things were changing and cars were getting shorter to come by. And about 6 months before Bobby let me go, I went to him. I was like, "Do I need to start looking for a job?" He's like, "No, everything's gonna be great. Like we're all good." And he came to me at the 1st of December, and I mean, he was in tears. He's like,
Yeah.
he'd been in business for 20 years, and he's like, "I got to let you go." And I was like, "I know. I mean, I'd been in the business forever. I mean, like I saw the writing on the wall. There was nothing." And I'd made a promise to my wife that if that was my last stop. I was like, no more. If something ever happens here, if I ever leave, if anything happens, I'll get out. And it was God closing that door
Yeah.
to open another one for me, is what it was. So when I say I got pushed out, I mean it was God pushing me out the window is
Yeah.
what it was, and telling me to to trust and take the next step.
Dude, that's real though. Like that is, I feel that on a deep level, right? Because there's things that happen in our lives that when we're going through it, there's these moments of like, what is happening right now? Because I, as a father and a husband myself, I know what that was like to like have been through that, and in the moment, I don't know about you, man, but I'm not thinking God's closing a door so he can open another one. I'm not thinking that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to take care of my wife and my kids and all these things? Like and I don't know about you, but that's where my main mind would go to start racing. And yes, it leads to this thing that, we're doing now and why we're even talking today. But in the moment, it's just like, what's happening right now? Like, this is all I've known.
Absolutely.
This is what you almost build an identity around it,
100%.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it took me a while to figure out. I mean, to get my butt back in gear, and it was hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's not easy, and I want so many people are like, in the like, also, like, I'm a believer. I'm right there with you. I will tell you this. So often in the Christian faith, you hear a lot of people just saying, the cliches, let go and let God, or it's just you just have to trust God, JW. It's going to be okay, and you hear all this stuff. And I'm not trying to like make fun of it because that's not wrong. But like, man, is that not the easiest thing to preach and the hardest thing to walk out, right? It's like, I can hear it all I want,
100%.
but like practically, I don't know how to do that because I've never been here before.
Right. Yeah. Let me tell you, but I don't want to tell myself.
Yeah, that is. So when I tell you I relate to that, man, it's I mean, golly, do I ever. But I can also say, having been through that and going through some things now in our business, it is a very easy thing to speak out of your mouth when you don't know what the future has on the other side.
It's like every day in business. Like it's not. I mean, it's an everyday thing, right? I mean, you've seen the deal on to be an entrepreneur. It's like, okay, I'm good, and then I'm down below. I mean, that's real life.
Yeah, and I know we get into the like, but here's the thing: is you've been in the sales side of things, so you've been an entrepreneur yes, you worked for an organization and that wasn't your own personal like business.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
But at the end of the day, you've had to, and it's like this with real estate, you know, the eat what you kill what you eat, or eat what you kill. There it is. You have to kill your own food to eat it, kind of thing in sales. And you've been doing that for 20 plus years before that. What does that look like when you're transitioning into like the real estate world? And it's the same mentality of like, you've got to provide, you know. How did you navigate that whole time frame?
Yeah. So just to step back, I mean, sales is a people business. Sales is not sales. I don't care what it is. I mean, it's all about people. Business is about people and relationships. And you know, for that, the same when I was selling cars or when I was a manager, whatever it was, you've got to connect. So when I would go to a house, it was just what it is. Like, okay, what problem were you trying to solve? You called me. What do you need me to do for you? How can I help you? What does that look like? And as you're talking through that, you figure out if I'm the right fit or if I'm not, and you make it about the people, and the money will always come. I mean, it's not about the money. The money is a byproduct of even selling cars, selling houses. Money is a byproduct.
Right. No, I couldn't agree more. One of my mentors would always say, you know, business is easy, people are difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a when you're transitioning out of things, and you can keep that mentality in the forefront of like, hey, this is still people. You know, I think that's a healthy outlook. So yeah, you transition. So you're in the car business, you know, goes through that. You start. When did you really? How long, give or take, you know, ballpark, was it from when you landed into something in the real estate space after that?
Yeah, so I bought 6 rentals. I had 6 rentals. I bought those all at one time. When I was still in the car business,
Okay.
I was doing a little bit of hard money out of my 401k, so I kind of dipped my toe. When I let go, that was in December, and you know, at the end of the all through December, I studied for my insurance exam, passed it. I was ready to go, and I just hated it. So
Yeah.
45 days in to that, and some waking up at 11, 12 o'clock and just a depression.
Mm.
And then I was like, okay, or my wife told me, it's like, okay, like that's enough. And I found PPL, and I started buying PPL leads, and I mean, it was off to the races. I went all in after that. I mean, you know, I had a deal the first 5 or 10 leads, and like it was off to the races. I was like, oh, this is what this is. Let's go.
Yeah. So you're roughly into what 2021, or are you still in 2020 at this point?
That would have been 2022.
22.
So at the end, I got let go at the end of 21. So this was start of
Oh, five.
22.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. That makes more sense now. Okay. Yeah. Because timeline with PPL, I was thinking like, like I wasn't quite that far back, but yeah, 2022 when it started getting hotter and, you
Hmm.
know, more traction, you know, PPL guys, if you're not pay per lead, right? So it's a form of marketing for, if you guys aren't quite sure what that means, it's off market opportunities sourced, you know, it can be on market too. Like we've seen them where they come in, but they're, you know,
Right.
but yeah, so you started doing that. First 10 leads you get, that's pretty crazy. So when you jumped in, was it in the wholesale space, or did you jump into, because you had some rental property, were you thinking of, what
Hmm.
was the mindset when you were jumping in? It's like, I'm going to get more rental property, or was it, no, I'm going to do the wholesaling thing? What was the mindset at that point?
No, I had to make money. Like I had to go figure out, I had to go buy something to sell it to put food on the table.
That's right.
You know, we didn't miss any meals, but you know, you don't make a paycheck for 30 to 45 days, and things start getting a little tight around here.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I just
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
that's what that looked like. But and again, I just kept pushing to the middle and looking for the next opportunity and taking it step by step.
Yeah. And did you learn about wholesaling prior to jumping into that, or how did you because a lot of people are like, they're like, wait, this is a thing where like I learned it from, something before. Like, how did you come into the knowledge of what wholesaling is?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that. So there was a guy here in Amarillo, Michael Dotson. He's still one of my mentors. We actually have a small portfolio together, but he had made a post on Facebook. He's like, if you're looking for somebody to teach you about real estate, reach out. And so I reached out and we went and met at a coffee shop, and
Nice.
that was we had a great conversation. He's like, yeah, you can do this. And so he kind of, we talked through things, and he's like, I'll always be here, kind of as a backup. If you ever question yourself on a deal, like, we'll go in halves. I mean, whatever that looks like. He
Yeah.
was there to support. And so that has grown through time. And like I said, we've got a portfolio now. As there's stuff that fits, there's stuff that doesn't fit, and then there's stuff you're like, man, 10 years from now, I'm going to look back and I'm like, why did I sell that house? I'm sure you've got some experience with
Right.
that. And so the stuff that we hold together is stuff that we're like, man, I'm going to look back 10 years from now
Yeah.
and I'm going to go, I need to keep that. So, but yeah, that's where I learned. That's where I learned wholesaling. Later on, I learned what an assignment of contract was. I did not know what an assignment of contract was for a year and a half, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, Texas is a little different even than other states in the form of some of their rules and regs that they have, right? But yeah, so I did want to talk about that. I'm glad you kind of brought that up. It's a good kind of segue into this. So I like to have definitions. So my wife and I, you've been married, JW, for a minute too. I've been married for a minute. Have you ever had the conversations of, or some form of, you said this, well, I meant this?
Absolutely.
Right? You can be the same word and have two different meanings. You know what I mean? So I think it's important to, let's define, I want to hear your thoughts on this, because how I learned wholesaling was not just simply assignment. But it was a wholesale deal is a deal at a discount. That is it.
Well, that's the definition. Sorry to cut you off. That's the definition of wholesale. I mean, there's wholesalers in every industry. I mean, there's people that wholesale groceries. I mean, wholesale cars. I mean, wholesale is bringing something to someone else at a below market price, so that that they can shine it up even more and bring it to full retail.
That's it. Yeah. And that's why I want to spend a little bit of time talking about, if we can, because in what you've been able to do within your business is pretty cool, and I think too often, people jump on YouTube University or something and just start looking up all these things, and you can't wholesale possibly without assigning the contract to JW. It's just not possible. That's not wholesaling anymore. Right? Wrong,
Yeah.
right? Tell me your, like, what you're doing more, like, not to say you don't assign, because I know we've talked about that, but
Sure.
Largely what it is, kind of like, maybe the Cliff Notes version of the business model.
Sure. So, I met with Michael, and obviously people don't, some of the hesitancy of people getting in real estate is like, I don't have any money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the the money finds the deal. Like, it's hard to find the deal. Finding the deal is hard.
Yeah.
You go find a deal, I'll find the money. I mean, there's plenty of people. You've got to be in the right circles. You've got to know. But you just get the money. I went to the bank and got started with a line of credit. There's hard money out there. There's plenty of people that have money if you can bring the deals, because there's not everybody that can bring the deal. There's a lot of wholesale deals that get brought to me, now, and I don't even look at them a second time because they're not even close.
Yeah.
And it's just a lack of understanding. Like you said, YouTube University, they're like, oh, you just go and get a property under contract and then you go sell it to somebody. It's not that easy.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you do now? How do you get around? Like, what is the method that you like to practice?
I've got a line of credit at the bank that I use now.
So you're taking them down.
I'm taking these properties down. Yeah, I take down, I would say 70 to 80% of everything that I get under contract is I take down. And as a practice, there's exceptions to everything, but as a practice, I do not write a contract that I do not intend to close on.
Yeah.
I might wholesale that property in the meantime, but I intend to close. I advertise that I'm gonna close, and when I show up, I mean that's the whole conversation. Like, how quick do you need this done? So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so you're taking them down, and then we're still wholesaling, but it's not via assignment. So in the practice, like everybody wants a definition or a term for what we call it. So we're calling it wholesaling, right? Like wholesale, retail, take it down at wholesale price, put it on the open market, and let the open market bid on what they think that wholesale property, as is worth. Am I kind of getting close to that? Is that how you're doing it?
No, that's 100%. I mean, I'll buy the property, I'll clean it up, clean it out, shampoo carpets, maybe just take the carpets out because they're so nasty and it looks better without them. But yeah, I'll just get it cleaned up, clean up the yard a little bit, and spend very little to if any money at all. And then bring it to the market, whether that be on Facebook. I mean, there's some properties that I'll market myself on Facebook. And there's people with cash. Depends on the price of the house, and there's people with cash that have access to cash that are looking for deals because they can't find them anywhere else.
Yeah. So I have a couple ideas around that, why this is super powerful, right? In you having the ability to take these properties. By the way, guys, you all have the ability to take the property down too. I think there's a limited belief on, hey, if I take it down and I list it for sale, what if it doesn't sell? And now I'm left holding the bag on this. Because let's say you went with hard money and you've got a mortgage payment due every month, and maybe you don't have the money to keep that mortgage payment afloat, right? There's some limiting beliefs on that. What have you been seeing on, like, because the market, here where I live in Florida, days on market are taking a little longer, but in the wholesale market, because they're it's a little different. What are you seeing any effect on that at this point? What's going on with that on your side of things?
I mean, you can effectively wholesale anything if you have it at the right price. So, I mean, we've got ARV, and then we have market price.
Right.
You have to be able to identify what the market price of the house is, and then back it up from there and back into your spread. So I mean, everybody wants to talk about ARV, and then they want to go find the highest ARV on the block and be like, okay, well, this is my ARV. Okay, that's great. I mean, how much money is it going to take to get it there? And then I want to bring houses to the market to provide affordable housing. There's people that do not necessarily need all the things that I'm going to put in a house. I might rip flooring out that somebody else would have been perfectly content with.
Right.
So why do I need to spend extra money to go in and put something that I like that somebody else isn't going to like? Go paint every single thing. I can go buy my wife $1 million house tomorrow. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to paint it.
Sure. Of course. Yeah. So are you seeing any effect on how long it's taking to get these properties sold after you take them down?
Not necessarily, not really. Maybe a little bit. It all depends on the price that I'm trying to get for it. I mean, if I keep I get greedy every once in a while. I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
We all
but I know that going in. I'm like, okay, that's probably more than what that house is gonna bring. But let's try it. Let's see.
do. Mhm.
I can adjust the price in a couple weeks. So I'm seeing it's a little, obviously it's slower than it was 2 years ago, year and a
Sure.
half ago.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing a ton of downtime. I think it's all in pricing and bringing the right deal to the market.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's
that's
good
my
to hear,
opinion.
right? The retail market, right, that is much slower right now. The retail market is. I think the wholesale market is still moving. Because like we've said earlier, it's like you have a value that you're bringing to the market of its discounted property is fewer and further between than it's ever been. Right now, where on the contrast, the retail market, at least where I live, is arguably higher than it's been in probably 15 years, 18 years, right? It's been since the pre-08 stuff that the inventory levels have been where they're at locally for me.
Hmm.
But the wholesale market still is, there's a lot of missing gaps. So here's my theory, and I'm curious what you think about this. Why take them down, as to why you should take them down and list them retail, okay? Or list them as, list them on the open market. Let me rephrase
Hmm.
that. So we're taught in the wholesale business, on the assignment side of things, is to build a buyer's list, right? You build your buyer's list, you get a deal under contract, and then I start, hitting the phones. Hey, JW, I got this property for sale. Are you interested? Da, 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 da. Oh, let me go check it out. And then you start going down that path, so on and so forth, right? And then hopefully you get 2 or 3 people that say, yeah, I'm interested. And then, okay, I have a showing on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Can you make it out? Okay, yeah, I can make it out. Then hopefully you get those 3 people out there, and those 3 people walk the house, and then maybe they'll talk, oh my gosh, and then they bid up against each other, and okay, I'll pay it, right? That's kind of what you're taught, more or less, quick version. What's interesting though is when you bring these deals to the market, those same people are seeing your property also, and they know that it's on them. That's not off market at that point, and so they know they have to take action, or they won't get it because it's on the market. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think my theory is, as to why maybe you're able to keep moving things out of faster, and still moving these properties, is because at the end of the day, I know investors, investors, and the mentality of the investor is, I don't want to lose out on that deal.
Absolutely. Um, but as you bring value to the market, people recognize.
100%.
I mean, I get calls. I get calls like, "Hey, what do you got? What do you got coming up? Like, I need something." So then that actually puts more pressure because, like, man, I got it now. Not only do I have the seller that needs help, now I've got guys that are looking for stuff.
Yeah.
And so but that's where that comes from. And when somebody sees that you have something
Yeah.
and they know that you're going to sell it, then I mean, it's going to move just like you said, because they don't want to miss out. They're like, okay, he's got it. It's priced right. I mean, I got to move. I got to take action.
Yeah. And I think it may have been fortuitous that you did not know how to assign for a long
Sure.
time, right? Because those of us that were taught assignments only, that was like a terrifying thing to, like, I got to take it down because now I have this. The sale side of the pitch on assignments is, hey, you don't have the same risk associated because you don't actually own it at that point,
Mm.
and you're mitigating risk by doing this, and that it's not wrong. But I think there's a lot of people, like, especially wholesaling in today's market, where deals are harder to come by. Man, I think people are missing the boat.
Yeah, you definitely need to be able to comp and underwrite when you're gonna take a property down. You need to have some backing. I mean, you need to have some understanding of that, but it just takes research and time to figure out and learn.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you one more question. Curious on this one, especially because you've been around, like, for a while now doing this, and you've done a lot of deals, and you're seeing all the different people talk about different things, right? So an objection I'm sure our audience might be thinking about would be, What about novations, JW? Why would you not just novate the deal and be able to use the market the same way as you would a wholesale without ever having to take it? Why not? For you, why would you not do that?
For me personally, it just seems disingenuous. I mean, if you disclose anything, then I mean, you're okay, but it's most of the people that I talk to, they have a problem that needs to be solved
Yeah.
quicker than that. I mean, there's a time and place for everything. Don't get me wrong, but it just doesn't seem like if I'm going to do a novation, then I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to make repairs on the house, get the house, bring some value to the house. For me, that's my opinion. I'm sure that's I'm in the minority there, but
I don't think so. And I'm so glad you said what you said, because it's time, right? So back to that mentor I was telling you about, like, you can, in a wholesale transaction, any way you want to define it, for real estate, let me go back to that. For real estate, in a wholesale transaction, you can have three things as a part of it. You can have speed, convenience, and price. You can pick two. You cannot have all three.
right.
Typically, in our world, they're trading price for speed and convenience 9 times out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the true motivated, quote unquote, motivated seller that we talk to has a time constraint of some kind. If they don't, it's probably not a deal that we're going to do a wholesale transaction on. Probably. Right. So I think identifying that from the beginning, if there's time is the issue, which is most people in our, like, who, by the way, PPL, direct mail, cold calling, whatever your method of marketing is, who is the person raising their hand saying, I want to sell my house for cash? Like, not a normal situation, right? So I have to put that in my head and go, like, well, if time is their thing, why in the world would I put them into a contract that says I need 90 days?
Mm-hmm. So Brett, earlier you said, you had someone tell you that business is easy, people are hard.
Yeah.
If I can eliminate the fewer people that I can eliminate, that just makes it easier for me. Does it add other layers of complexity? Absolutely. But if I can eliminate the seller from that situation and not have to deal with them on that side of it, just get the transaction done, get their problem solved, let them go on with what they need to go on with.
Yeah, I love that. Well, man, I know you and I could keep doing this back and forth for a while, because we kind of do a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
And trading thoughts back and forth. But I love everything about what you're doing. Is there any way, though, that people want to follow along, get to know you a little bit more? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
Sure. So I'm on Facebook, JW Epstein, Instagram at the JW Epstein, and then if you've got a deal in Amarillo, call me, send me a text, 806-681-5167. So I'll get that one the best and the fastest.
Incredible, man. Yeah, guys, we'll have that in the show notes, and I encourage you guys all to connect with JW, and you won't be sorry you did. I mean, I love everything about what you're doing, man. It's been really, really, really fun talking with you.
All right. Appreciate it. No, it's awesome. Thank you, Brett.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been a great episode. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll see each of you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.